In this episode, you'll learn why cycle tracking apps can actually sabotage the timing of your fertile window, how to truly confirm if you're ovulating and not just guessing or assuming, and the best tools to use so you can have a full and accurate fertility picture. Welcome to the Finally Get Pregnant Naturally podcast, the podcast helping women identify the real reasons you haven't conceived or stayed pregnant so you and your partner can finally grow the family of your dreams. I'm your host, Dr. Katie Wood. Let's dive in, shall we? Hello and welcome to our weekly Get Pregnant Now Quickie. This is your bite-sized fertility reset where we'll cover either one fertility boosting supplement or nutrient, one sneaky fertility saboteur, or one quick energetic release or mindset hack so you can shift your body and energy for optimal fertility in less time than it takes to scroll Instagram. Let's go. So today we're going to be talking about a very prevalent fertility saboteur, and this is something that women are using every day, every cycle, very commonly, and they don't realize that this is actually sabotaging and doing a disservice in terms of their journey of trying to conceive. So that is relying on cycle tracking apps or just LH strips to understand your cycle and when you should be timing the baby dance, okay? So let's break down why this could be a major reason why you're not conceiving and why there could be a delay in you getting that big fat positive. So here's the truth that I don't think a lot of people understand. And believe me, when I was on my fertility journey 7, 8 years ago, I didn't understand this either. So it's not just you. It's very common when I'm talking to women in the DMs and I ask them what they're using to track their cycles. A lot of time it's some app that they're using, and a lot of times it's just LH test strips. So tracking apps, fertility tracking apps, cycle tracking apps, whatever it is called, they're all pretty much one and the same, no matter what it says about its advanced algorithm and things like that. They're all based on averages and estimations, okay? They are predicting when ovulation could occur for you, but they are absolutely not confirming it. And LH strips or ovulation predictor kits test for a hormone called luteinizing hormone. So they detect the surge in luteinizing hormone, which would trigger the release of an egg. Okay. It tells us that your body is at least trying to ovulate, but it's not actually confirming one, if ovulation actually happened, and two, what was the quality of that ovulation, even if you did ovulate. So this can be especially misleading for women who have PCOS, high stress, and irregular cycles. So if you're solely relying on these tools using cycle tracking apps and or LH strips, you could be timing the baby dance either too early or too late. You could be missing your actual fertile window entirely, and you could be thinking that you're ovulating, but you're actually not. And this is a big problem. And this is actually really sad if you think about it, because so many women and couples will go on for 6 months to a year or longer. They go to their doctor. We've tried for a year, but we haven't gotten pregnant. And then they get pushed down basically like this medical cascade of interventions in terms of trying to get you pregnant when all along you really just didn't know what your fertile window is. And it's really easy to decipher once you know how to. And then I don't want to say it's easy to decipher because sometimes it can actually be challenging, but if you're not tracking in the right way, you don't even have those details to then be able to dig a little bit deeper to see maybe why you're not ovulating. So, what should you be doing instead? I'm basically telling you maybe what you've been doing hasn't been the best way to track your cycle. So, what can you do instead? So, let's expand your fertility tracking toolkit. So, there's a lot of things that we can do, and some natural signs you can look for is something called fertile cervical mucus. So, ideally, you're getting this surge in estrogen, which would support the release of this clear, stretchy, egg white like fertile cervical mucus. And this fertile cervical mucus is the ideal vehicle and environment to host the sperm, to help it swim up to the egg, but then also to help it survive, especially if you were to have intercourse prior to ovulating, then the sperm is able to survive and meet the egg when it is released. Okay. So this is a beautiful, reliable, natural sign that your body is trying to ovulate. Again, this is not confirming that if ovulation happened or also confirming the quality, but this is a hormonal and fertile indicator. So if you're not seeing this like clear, stretchy egg white mucus, sometimes it's a little bit more slippery for people. If you're not seeing that, then there could be some hormonal issues going on underneath that you want to look into. But I always tell my clients, like, this is the time that you want to be doing the baby dance because, like I said, it's the perfect environment, it's the perfect vehicle, and ideally it is lining up no more than a couple days to like the day of, day before ovulation. Now, here is one of my go-to cycle tracking methods that I recommend to all of my clients, and that's tracking your basal body temperature. So when you take your temperature every morning, that's considered your basal body temperature. You want to do this before getting out of bed. And ideally, in the follicular phase, we're going to see lower temperatures. And then, if you ovulate, you should see a rise in temperature and it should stay pretty steady in the luteal phase until either you get a positive pregnancy test or the temp could drop and you start your period in another cycle. Tracking your BBT is not actually going to tell you, hey, I'm about to ovulate. It's really only going to confirm that you ovulated, but this is an important tool because then you can use this in combination with things like cervical mucus, LH strips, which kind of tell you, hey, my body is attempting to ovulate, but then the BBT is going to confirm, yes, my body ovulated, but it's also going to give you a lot of important information in terms of the quality of your ovulation, the health of your hormones. Is your temperature staying steady throughout the luteal phase? Is it up and down? Is it only rising for a couple of days and then just dropping until you get your period? Your BBT gives you a lot of crucial information. And then, of course, there's at-home hormone tracking devices that measure something that's called PDG, which is a metabolite of progesterone that is also confirming if and when ovulation really occurred. So this can be a game changer for identifying a luteal phase defect or confirming strong, healthy, robust ovulation. Using all of these things together, so I would say cervical mucus, an LH strip, and then choosing, do you want to do BBT or an at-home hormone tracking device? You don't necessarily have to do two. Sometimes it can be a little stressful for people to have too many tools on board. So whatever feels good to you, but I would say having something that's like letting you know that ovulation is about to happen, and then something that is telling you and confirming ovulation did in fact happen. And with those hormone tracking devices, if it's one that is tracking FSH, estrogen, LH, and PDG, you are also going to know when your body's trying to ovulate too. So that's going to give you a beautiful picture of your fertile window. And in the show notes, you will find my go-to BBT tracking device and hormone tracking devices that you can use. Some of them have some discounts for you to take advantage of. And I'll also link a 3-part fertility series that I have where one of the parts is going to talk all about cycle tracking. So if you want to dive in a little bit deeper on that, you'll be able to learn so much more in terms of really dialing in and getting to know your fertile window so you can take full advantage of every single cycle. So let's do a quick recap. First, we learned that cycle tracking apps are only predicting and giving you an estimation at best of your fertile window. They are not confirming. And LH strips or OPKs are really just telling you that your body is attempting to ovulate, but it's not actually confirming that you did or the quality of that ovulation. And having other tools like following cervical mucus, basal body temperature, and tracking your PDG levels at home can give you a reliable full picture view of your fertile window. So here is your action step for this cycle or your next cycle. I want you to choose at least one tool to track if ovulation is impending. So that would be the fertile cervical mucus or the LH strips. And then I want you to pick one tool to help you confirm if and when ovulation happened and also the quality. So that would be the basal body temperature or the hormone tracking device, because the more data you gather, the more empowered and confident you can become. So I just want to share with you that your body is wise. These tools are here to help and guide us. But when you really become in tune with your body, with your cycle tracking doesn't have to be so daunting. It can become so natural for you that it doesn't even feel like you're trying. And when you stop outsourcing when you think you're ovulating to an algorithm that's on your phone, how can your phone does not know your body better than you do? This app does not know your body better than you do. When you can start syncing with your natural rhythms, you'll stop feeling confused and you'll start feeling confident. So, thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on next Tuesday's episode. And just a quick disclaimer, this podcast is for educational purposes only and does not replace medical advice. Please speak with your licensed provider before beginning any new health routines or supplements.